The violent turn during Chicago's Christmas tree lighting event raises a far more unsettling question than the headlines suggest. Was this simply a shocking outbreak of holiday season lawlessness, or a symptom of deeper fractures in American urban society? The incident, involving more than 300 youths, multiple assaults on police officers, and 2 separate shootings that left 1 teenager dead and several others injured, demands a broader, structural interpretation rather than a narrow criminal narrative. First, the event exposes significant failures in public events safety management. With thousands gathered in Millennium Park, reports indicate overcrowding, bottlenecked exits, and weak crowd control. Under such conditions, even a single violent trigger can cascade into widespread panic. This suggests a gap between the scale of city events and the preparedness of local authorities to manage them safely, especially in high-risk urban centers. Second, the unusually large number of juveniles involved points to deeper issues in Chicago's youth ecosystem: lack of supervision, limited community resources, and persistent socioeconomic inequality. When hundreds of teenagers mobilize for destructive behavior at a civic celebration, it signals a breakdown in social integration. This is not merely about crime, it is about youth alienation, the absence of meaningful engagement opportunities, and a chronic shortage of social programs capable of stabilizing vulnerable communities. Third, the rapid politicization of the event, with national figures invoking the violence as evidence of failed local governance, highlights how American politics now instinctively converts local tragedies into ideological ammunition. Instead of creating space for policy reflection, incidents like this become symbols in a polarized narrative about crime, governance, and urban decline. Such politicization may win votes, but it deepens division and distracts from root cause analysis. Fourth, the presence of firearms among teenagers at a major civic gathering underscores America's unresolved gun violence crisis. While the event's chaos is alarming, the underlying mechanism is depressingly familiar: easy firearm access, high-risk youth environments, and insufficient early interventions. These dynamics turn routine public events into potentially lethal spaces. Finally, the riot reveals a public trust deficit in urban safety institutions. When celebrations intended to enhance community spirit instead become scenes of violence, citizens lose confidence not only in policing but in the social order itself. Rebuilding this trust requires more than tough-on-crime rhetoric. It demands investments in youth services, targeted community support, and the redesign of public safety strategies for large gatherings. The Chicago tree lighting chaos was not an isolated anomaly, it was a microcosm of America's intersecting crises: youth disenfranchisement, governance failures, politicized narratives, and systemic gun violence. The question is not merely why this happened, but whether the country is prepared to confront the structural issues that made such an eruption possible.